The board is set, the pieces are moving. We come to it at last, the great battle of our time, which is to determine the definitive ranking of the Middle-earth franchise. I'm Adam Olinger, and I've come back to you today at the turn of the tide to give you my best and worst list, starting at the bottom. Let's go. First and foremost, I like the Hobbit franchise. I know there's a dip between them and The Lord of the Rings, but I can still have an enjoyable time regardless. An Unexpected Journey shows us just how thin one can stretch the source material. I'm not going to compare book and movie differences, this is not that type of show. Taking the film on its own merits is enough, and it's painfully obvious this should have been a two-part movie at most. The first 30 minutes is a slow burn that doesn't do much in the way of character development or story progression. It's just sort of there and pads itself out with musical numbers and slapstick gags. Jackson and team have such a fine eye for this world, I can forgive its shortcomings. Hell, I could watch Bilbo Baggins chronicle his journey to Parchment for 4 hours. Probably just gave him an idea for a fourth film. The Hobbit, an expected cash grab. This was a satisfying conclusion for me. I know a lot of people gave this one flack and were not happy with it in the slightest. There for one was a giant increase in CGI, which runs at a Star Wars prequel level at times. At one point or another, I was expecting Jar Jar Binks to pop out of the battle with helmet and shield at the ready until he's taken out at the legs and then decapitated. Body falls to the ground and rots away for years. Nobody pays him respects. Instead tramples him to death. Bones lay at the wayside. I'm off topic, I'm sorry. Damn you, Jar Jar, what won't you ruin? The action is bountiful and oftentimes cartoonish, with Legolas recreating every kill from Assassin's Creed he can think of. Just do a Legolas standalone movie already. Have Tyrell join in on his hijinks. You have yourselves a ticket. Jackson did a nice job tying in with the Lord of the Rings franchise, and Martin Freeman did Bilbo Baggins justice. I will happily return to Middle-earth and watch these movies again. The most pointless and padded of the bunch is also the most fun. Spider attacks, a fantastic cartoonish barrel chase, and a great conversation with Smaug himself makes this an easy watch. We not only get to see one, but two elvish archers putting creatures in body bags. Nothing too impactful in this installment, but the pacing is at its best. It's telling when the weakest of the Lord of the Rings franchise is still a 10 out of 10. It's a slower affair that builds up to an amazing final act. The trees can really grow tiresome, but that's really my only nitpick considering it's crucial to the plot. The return of Gandalf the White was epic, along with that final battle at Helm's Deep. It really takes things up a notch in terms of the fear you have for our small band of heroes. Peter Jackson doesn't shy away from the violence either, which I really appreciated. They could have really watered this down for audiences like, say, Hunger Games did. I had a hard time between the 1 and 2 spots, and I went back and forth multiple times. I fought with countless people, putting one in the hospital and killing another man, but I ended up putting Fellowship in the 2 spot. I love the living hell out of this movie. As someone who hasn't read the books, this was all brand new to me. Jackson introduces us to Tolkien's amazing world filled with hobbits, trolls, wizards, and much more. You instantly feel a connection to Frodo, and Gandalf is stoic yet frail at the same time. There's a power in him, but there's also weakness there. The rest of the Fellowship is equally as fleshed out. The action, while not as intense at this point, is still remarkable. The highlight comes from a battle with a cave troll in the mines of Moria, followed up by an intense and dramatic run-in with the Balrog. Not to be confused with the boxing street fighting character who's equally as menacing. I would pay to see a fight with Gandalf versus Balrog from Street Fighter 2. It's just so damn good. The action, the spectacle, the drama, it's all here. It's all here. Watching Samwise carry Frodo up Mount Doom while the audience chanted Rudy is one of the greatest moments in movie history for me. Not even the strongest mithril vest could stop the arrow of emotion from penetrating my heart. It's just that powerful. And yes, that's a line of dialogue I wrote for this. The movie ends and we still have 30 more minutes of wrap-up, which is also a rare treat you don't get often. This is the greatest movie trilogy of all time, and I can't imagine anything topping it anytime soon. Only a fool of a took would put any of the Hobbit movies above Lord of the Rings. They have moments of greatness, but ultimately fall under the same sort of trappings the Star Wars prequels did. The characters are not as interesting, the CGI is way overcooked, and it's just not that dramatic of an adventure. Like I said, I'm still able to watch these, but Lord of the Rings is the true king. It's the true heir to the throne. Now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment. Like the video if you like the video. More than just reviews, this is Movie Feuds. I'm deathly serious. I want to see that Legolas movie. Let's have it take place in between the Hobbit franchise and the Lord of the Rings. Like I said, Tyrell can join him as they skateboard down the bodies of dead corpses, and they just leave a trail of murder and death and decay everywhere they go through Middle-earth. Just cut me a check now.